Hey there, I'm Brad Talton, founder of Level 99 Games and the creator of the minigame library. Today I'm going to teach you how to play Master Plan. Master Plan is a lightweight game for 3 to 6 players that plays in about 30 minutes, and we're going to learn the rules for it right now. Master Plan is a 3 to 6 player game that uses real space mechanics in a race to the finish between different supervillains. Inside the game box, you'll find a trophy card, which is the target everyone's trying to reach, 6 supervillains, starting spaces, 1 reference card, and 47 space cards that all have the same back. Each of these cards has some sort of special effect on the front and a like back. The trophy will be the same on both sides. The reference card has setup and turn order. And then each of the supervillains will have a special power and just some flavor text on the opposite side. So the first thing to do is to decide whether you want to use the villain's superpowers or not. If you're new to the game, I recommend not using them in the first game. But after that, they provide a neat asymmetric element that makes games more flavorful and interesting. Each player will select a character, starting with the youngest and going up, or do random, and then set those cards on the edge of the table about 1 long card length apart. So about this far apart for each different one. Then deal each player a hand of 4 cards and put their character pawn on the starting space. The rest of the cards sit to the side as a draw deck. The rest of the pawns won't be used. Now, we put the trophy about between 1 and 2 feet, depending on how long we want our game to last. And then play begins, with the rightmost card moving clockwise around the table. So, on their turn, a player does 3 specific things detailed on the action card. They'll move, add cards to the table, and draw. On the first turn, you won't be moving, so we'll skip over that step for now and go straight to adding. When you add, you can place any card you want face down on the table, like such. It can be in any orientation, any place, anywhere that you like, as long as it doesn't overlap any other cards that are already down on the table. At the end of your turn, you can add as few or as many cards as you like, but you will only be picking up 1 at the end of a turn, so you may want to save some for later. At the end of your turn, you signal that you're done by drawing 1 card and putting it in your hand. Then the next person's turn begins. Alright, now it's our player's second turn, and they're able to move. When moving, use a card from your hand to measure 1 short length distance, and then jump to the card. When you jump to another card, you flip it face up, and you do whatever effect is on the card. For example, this one, a big red button, says choose any face down card and flip it in its place. Activate all its effects. So we pick a card that we want and flip it over. And this one's a laser blaster. It destroys anything within 1 long card length. So we'll blow up this one. Cards that get destroyed go to the discard pile. Then, as usual, player can add cards and draw in their turn. A player wins the game if he can get all the way to the trophy. But beware, there are plenty of traps all across the board, hidden face down by your opponents, and some hidden by yourself, perhaps. So don't forget. On a player's turn, if a player jumps to a space, such as a trapdoor, that destroys itself, or his space that he's currently on gets destroyed, such as by a laser blaster, the space goes away, and the player who is left with nowhere to stand falls back to his starting position. In this case, he'll draw 4 cards to create a new hand, and his turn will end immediately without being able to add more cards or draw an additional card at the end. On a player's turn, if the player's first move is onto a space that's already face up, he doesn't activate its effect. Instead, he gets to make 1 additional move. The additional move can be either to a face up or to a face down card. If he moves to another face up card, similarly, it doesn't flip over and its effect won't activate. He can only make 1 free move per turn if the first card he moves to is already face up. Moving to an additional face up card won't grant another free move. Also, a free move cannot be used to reach the trophy at the end. it must be done as your entire move. The player cards and the trophies cannot be moved about, manipulated, or destroyed. They are completely safe spaces. The game ends as soon as somebody reaches the trophy. In this case, that player is declared the winner. If if the deck runs out and there are no longer any cards to draw from, shuffle the discard pile to form a new deck, and now we enter sudden death mode. Once sudden death is initiated, players no longer restart at their starting places once they fall. Instead, they are out of the game forever. If the deck runs out, continue reshuffling in more cards. Continue reshuffling in the discard pile to create a new deck. If the deck and discard pile are empty, players can draw from the face-up or face-down cards on the table. So thanks for taking the time to watch the video, and I hope you enjoy Master Plan. Happy gaming.